Merovingian sits across from Neo and delivers one of the trilogy's coldest truths.
You see, there is only one constant, one universal. It is the only real truth. Causality. Action, reaction, cause and effect.
Everything you do, he argues, is just dominoes falling. You think you're making choices, but you're really just following invisible chains: stimulus, desire, action. You're a slave to cause and effect. But here's the paradox. The trilogy ends with Neo answering a question that breaks causality itself. When Smith demands to know why he keeps fighting, Neo says 3 words the Merovingian can't compute.
Because I choose to.
So which one is right? Are we all just programs running our code, or is there an escape hatch? In the next 12 minutes, you'll see why purpose is the Matrix's real weapon, why choice is often just the branding, and why Neo's final answer reframes the entire trilogy. But first, the Merovingian asks a question that most people miss, and it's not what you think. So if everything has a purpose, who gave you yours? Most people remember the Merovingian scene for the cursing Frenchman and the cake. But rewatch it. The real threat isn't the insults, it's the question. Morpheus walks in confident.
You know why we are here.
He's stating a fact. They need the keymaker. Done. Simple transaction. But the Merovingian doesn't even blink. He leans forward and flips the script.
I am a trafficker of information. I know everything I can. The question is, do you know why you are here?
Notice what just happened. Morpheus said, "We need the keymaker." The Merovingian didn't ask what they wanted. He asked why. And that's not semantics. That's a diagnosis. When you ask someone what they want, you're taking their request at face value. When you ask why, you're pulling on the thread behind the request. You're exposing the chain. What made you want that? What made that happen? Keep pulling, and you find the invisible contract driving the whole thing. The Merovingian isn't making small talk. He's showing them that they don't control their own mission. They're just the latest link in a causal chain they can't even see.
You think you do, but you do not. You are here because you were sent here. You were told to come here, and then you obeyed.
And once he's established that, he stops arguing about morals or needs. He argues physics. This is where the Merovingian stops being a character and becomes a theorem. He doesn't just believe in cause and effect. He treats it like gravity, like a law you can't negotiate with. And he's about to demonstrate it in the most degrading way possible.
Choice is an illusion created between those with power and those without. You see, there is only one constant, one universal. It is the only real truth. Causality. Action, reaction, cause and effect.
He's not being philosophical, he's being clinical. He's reducing Neo, Morpheus, and Trinity to predictable systems. Stimulus triggers desire, desire triggers action. You think you're choosing, but you're just responding. You're a machine that doesn't know it's a machine. And then he proves it. He writes code into a dessert, hands it to a woman across the restaurant, and watches her biology betray her. She doesn't choose to feel what she feels. She's caused to feel it. Stimulus, response, cause and effect. The bathroom trip isn't random, it's a receipt. When he comes back, Morpheus tries one more time. They need the keymaker. The Merovingian shrugs.
I see no reason why I should give him up. No reason at all.
He's not being stubborn, he's being literal. There's no cause in his system that produces "give up the keymaker" as an effect. No stimulus strong enough. So the answer is no, not because he's cruel, but because causality hasn't been satisfied. Even his refusal is proof of his worldview. Then he stands, adjusts his coat, and delivers the mic drop.
Cause and effect. Oh well.
He walks out like he just gave a lecture. And here's the trap. He's not wrong. Everyone in that restaurant is following code. Trinity's about to prove it by starting a gunfight, because that's what the script requires. Okay, but what if he's right? What if everyone here really is built to do one thing? The trilogy doesn't make you wait long for an answer, because sitting in the Merovingian's basement is the living proof that purpose isn't metaphor, it's code. The keymaker. Neo asks him how he knows which key opens which door. It's a simple question, but the answer is terrifying.
I know because I must know. It is my purpose. is the reason I'm here. The same reason we're all here.
He's not being humble. He's being accurate. The Keymaker isn't a guy who happens to be good with keys. He's a program whose entire existence is defined by function. He doesn't have hobbies. He doesn't have doubts. He has keys and doors and the knowledge of which one opens what, because that's what he was compiled to do. He can't become a chef. He can't retire. He can't even want to. His purpose isn't inspirational. It's his job title hard-coded into his operating system. And then he says the quiet part out loud.
We do only what we're meant to do.
Not, we try to do what we're meant to do. Not, we should do what we're meant to do. We do only what we're meant to do. Like it's physics. Purpose isn't a calling here. It's a constraint. The Keymaker exists to unlock. The Merovingian exists to traffic information. Every exile, every program in the Matrix has a function. And if the function becomes obsolete, deletion. The system doesn't care about your identity. It cares about your utility. So if the Keymaker is purpose in its purest form, a being that is what it does, then what does that say about everyone else? What does that say about Neo, who's supposed to be the one? Is he choosing his path? Or is he just the anomaly program doing what anomaly programs do? And that's when the trilogy pulls the camera back and shows you something terrifying. Even evil has a purpose. The Keymaker showed you purpose as a job description, but the Oracle shows you something bigger and way more unsettling. Purpose isn't just how individual programs work. It's how the entire system stays alive. She's talking to Neo about Agent Smith, and Neo assumes Smith is just broken. A virus, a glitch, something that went wrong, but the Oracle corrects him. Smith isn't a mistake. Smith is an answer.
He is you. Your opposite, your negative. The result of the equation trying to balance itself out.
And then she explains his function.
That's his purpose, to balance the equation.
Wait, Smith has a purpose? Smith, the thing that's corrupting the Matrix and turning everything into copies of himself, is serving a function? Yes, because the Matrix isn't a cage, it's a system. And systems don't survive through chaos, they survive through balance. Every anomaly gets a counter-anomaly. Every destabilizing force gets an equal and opposite stabilizing force. Neo is the choice. Smith is the consequence. The system doesn't care if Smith is evil. It cares that the equation holds. Purpose becomes the Matrix's ultimate control method. And here's where it gets darker. The Oracle tells Neo something that applies to everyone, not just Smith.
I told you before, no one can see beyond a choice they don't understand. And I mean no one.
Read that again. No one can see beyond a choice they don't understand. If you don't understand the real choice in front of you, you can't make it. You'll make the choice the system wants you to make, the one that fits your purpose, the one that keeps the equation balanced. You think you're free, but you're just fulfilling the role you were always going to fulfill. Neo thinks he's choosing to fight Smith, but what if fighting Smith is his purpose? What if the Oracle, the Architect, the entire Matrix has been steering him toward this exact collision? Not because it's heroic, but because it's necessary. If you can't see the real choice, you can't escape the real purpose. But then the trilogy shows what happens when a purpose mutates, when it stops being about balance and becomes about something much worse. Smith was built to balance an equation, but something broke. And when a purpose breaks, it doesn't just disappear, it metastasizes. By the third film, Smith isn't balancing anything anymore. He's spreading, consuming, copying himself over every program, every human, every inch of the Matrix until there's nothing left but him. And when Neo finally confronts him in the rain, Smith doesn't monologue about power or revenge. He monologues about purpose. Wearing the Oracle's face, he tells Neo what she showed him before he absorbed her.
I really should thank you for it. After all, it was your life that taught me the purpose of all life. The purpose of life is to end.
That's not philosophy, that's programming. Smith discovered a purpose that the system never intended, a purpose that isn't creation or balance or function, it's termination. And once he saw it, he couldn't unsee it. He became it. Purpose stopped being his job and became his only command. That's why he spreads like a virus. He's not trying to conquer the Matrix, he's trying to complete it, to bring everything to its logical conclusion, the end. No more equations, no more balance, just the final, perfect zero. And that's why, when Neo gets back up for the 100th time, Smith finally cracks. He's won. He's everywhere. Neo is dying. The equation is solved. So why is Neo still standing?
Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you persist?
It's not rhetorical. Smith genuinely doesn't understand. Because in his worldview, the Merovingians' worldview, the Matrix's worldview, there's no cause left that should produce keep fighting as an effect. The inputs don't match the output. The math doesn't work. Smith is what happens when purpose loses meaning and becomes a single infinite loop. He can't stop. He can't choose to stop. He's the ultimate expression of causality, a being that does only what it must do, forever, until there's nothing left to do it to. And this is where the trilogy flips the whole idea of purpose on its head, with one sentence. Smith is standing in the rain, wearing the Oracle's face, staring at Neo like he's a broken theorem. He's asked the question, why do you persist? And Neo could give him 100 answers. He could talk about love, or humanity, or destiny, or prophecy. He could quote Morpheus, or the Oracle, or Trinity, but he doesn't. He asks Smith a question right back.
What's your purpose?
And Smith can't answer because his purpose is him. He doesn't have a purpose. He is purpose. He's the living endpoint of the Merovingians' doctrine, a being completely consumed by causality, by function, by the thing he was made to do. Neo's purpose? Trinity, the Oracle, Zion, saving the world. All of that is true, but none of that is the answer. The answer is 3 words.
Because I choose to.
That's it. That's the escape hatch. Not because I have to. Not because I was programmed to. Not because the prophecy says so. Because I choose to. In a universe built on cause and effect, Neo just introduced a variable the system can't compute. A choice that has no prior cause. A purpose that didn't come from code, or causality, or the Oracle's chess moves. He reclaimed purpose from determinism. And here's the thing. The trilogy already showed you what that looks like earlier. There's a program named Ramachandra who Neo meets in the train station. Neo asks him why he's helping his daughter, why he's risking deletion for her. Ramachandra isn't human. He's code. He shouldn't have feelings. But he looks at Neo and says,
The answer is simple. I love my daughter very much. I find her to be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
A program. Choosing love. Not because it's functional. Not because it balances an equation. Because he wants to. That's the inversion. Purpose isn't erased. It's chosen. The Merovingians' trap is real. Causality does rule most of the universe. Most programs do only what they're meant to do. Most people are following invisible chains they can't see. But the escape hatch isn't breaking the chains. It's choosing which ones to wear. It's finding the one purpose that can't be reduced to stimulus and response. Neo doesn't defeat purpose. He doesn't transcend it. He takes it back. And the moment he does, Smith can't survive. Because Smith is only purpose, Neo is purpose and choice. And in a system built on equations, that's the one variable that breaks everything. So if purpose is the Matrix's leash, then the scariest question is, who wrote the leash? Because the Oracle knew. The architect knew. They built the system where everyone has a purpose, where every anomaly gets balanced, where even rebellion has a function. They didn't trap humanity with walls. They trapped them with meaning. That's exactly what the architect scene reveals. He doesn't just explain the Matrix, he explains why you're in it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Make sure to click on the video on the screen.